Hello and welcome to the Southern View. I'm Veera Raghav and Vasudha is joining us from New Delhi. Lots lined up over the next 60 minutes with Vasudha and me, from the face-off over the Karnataka Caste survey to just why Deepika Padukone is out of Kalki 2. All set, Vasudha? Namaskaram, namaskara, baunnara, nallar kingla.
Namaskaram, Veera, and all our viewers. We will also bring you that very important face-off on the Aland controversy, the allegations that Rahul has raised yesterday. The BJP today, Veera, has said the Congress party that's trying to incite Gen Z of the go against its own democracy. We'll get you that very important face-off as part of the show.
That's right. Let's take you through the rest of the headlines at the moment. After JEM, Lashkar commander makes a big admission, says Murid Ke camp was destroyed in the Operation Sindoor strikes by India. The craze for iPhone 17 all over. Scuffle breaks out in Mumbai's Bikaji Kama complex Apple store as the latest iPhones launch in India. An ugly war of words between KT Rama Rao and Revanth Reddy. KTR claims Revanth Reddy was expelled by KCR for being a failure. Revanth says people of Telangana have set K. Chandrasekhar Rao and his family aside. Well, first up, a quick bit of breaking news that's coming in, Vasudha, on the actor Vijay and his Tamizhaga Vetri Karagam, which has sent out stern instructions. Vasudha, you were there in Tiruchi. The party has sent out stern instructions to his cadre not to climb on banners or follow his convoy and create any disturbance during his Saturday meetings. This, remember, after the Madras High Court had some stern observations about damages that was caused in Trichy during his rally, where you were, Vasudha, last week.
That's right. Vijay's rally in Trichy, Veera, also saw him unveiling that very important bus of his, and then we also saw him setting forward his agenda. It's called Unga Vijay Na Vare, which means I'm your Vijay and I'm coming soon. So clearly this is an important thematic campaign, and this tour is going to be important to understand what the TVK's prospects is going to be. And he is all set to tour all 38 districts of Tamil Nadu till December first week.
That's right, and he attracts huge crowds. Sam Daniel joins us live. Sam, the TVK, of course, sending out message to his cadres not to climb on poles, not to follow his convoy, telling pregnant women and children not to be part of the crowds there. Obviously trying to take precautions, but it is quite a task for both the police and his party cadre to control the crowds.
That's right, Veera Raghav. Tomorrow all eyes would be on what kind of a change or difference would his appeal make at Nagapattinam and later at Tiruballur. Remember, last Saturday, Trichy came to a grinding halt with thousands of party cadre joining his convoy from the airport to the venue, which would otherwise take 20 minutes, took 6 hours. And there were also reports of damage to public property. The Madras High Court had made some observations yesterday. It's in the backdrop of this, his party has reiterated yet again, asking cadre not to follow, not to climb on rooftop, vehicle top or on transformers, and asking people not to put up flex boards on the highways, and appealing to pregnant women, disabled and children not to come there but to follow the proceedings online. And we'll have to wait and watch whether Vijay would be able to stick to his schedule unlike last time. And Vijay's party had gone to the court recently alleging that the police is imposing difficult, impossible conditions for them alone, after which the Madras High Court directed the Tamil Nadu government to formulate uniform conditions for all parties so that nobody will accuse the government or the police of partiality. We'll have to wait and watch whether Vijay's appeal would make a difference tomorrow. But his team yet again expects large turnout of party cadre, largely youngsters and women, both in Nagapattinam and in Tiruballur.
Right. Last week, this time, both Vasudha and Sam Daniel were making their trek towards Trichy. They were both there at Trichy, Ariyalur and Perambalur. They've seen Vijay and his crowds firsthand. Let's see what happens tomorrow in Namakkal. But remember, he's not the only star, Vasudha, in Tamil Nadu politics. Actor Kamal Hassan, who's holding consultations with his party functionaries ahead of 2020 elections, spoke with Sam Daniel. Let's listen in.
Joining us now, Rajya Sabha MP and MNM Chief, Mr. Kamal Hassan. So thank you very much for your time. Is this exercise, 4-day exercise, largely to identify stronger constituencies for you for the elections?
Yes, exactly. Stronger constituency and further strengthening already strong constituencies so that it will be useful for everyone.
MNM hopeful of sending your MLAs this time?
We are. But we are working for it.
I heard your speech a little bit. You're asking your cadre not to give up their livelihood, but give only a allotted designated time every...
We've been saying that right from the beginning because politics need not be a 24/7 profession. That can happen once you become leaders or in a position where you will have to spend time only there and not anywhere else. But these are people who are working for a party. They must live off their earnings and then work for the sake of the nation, not the other way around. They work for the nation, they get paid. For which you'll have to join the army or the police force.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi has given his second set of allegations against irregularities against the Election Commission. The EC has denied, but what kind of an action you expect?
We've seen even the British government deny their lies. Thank you.
So Kamal Hassan, actor there, also saying that there needs to be an investigation into the vote chori campaign. He's also making it clear, Veera, that taking part in politics does not mean letting go of your everyday livelihood. And that's also important to ensure that you remain sustainable in today's life.
That's right. But the big question before Kamal Hassan is what is going to be his electoral role in the coming election. But Vasudha, moving from stars to some serious politics, to the divisions and contentious arguments around the socio-economic survey in Karnataka, only growing louder, Vasudha. The survey itself will begin as planned on Monday, declared Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, who, remember, held a series of meetings today after reports of divisions even within the state cabinet over that exercise. This survey, Vasudha, as you know, will cost the state over 400 crores, more than 400 crores, but that's not the problem. The real question is, will it fuel caste, communal identity and quota politics, or will it help target government schemes and reservations better?
And how is it going to change the political discourse in the state is also important, Veera. Remember, it's all set to start on the 22nd of September, which is also when the Dussehra festival is going to begin. And the controversy is specifically important because, like we've been reporting, ministers of Karnataka Cabinet have also been raising objections on the addition of new castes as part of the survey. And the dominant groups have also been discussing, especially the Lingayat groups, if they need to be, if they need to choose the nomenclature of independent or not. So that remains a political question as well.
Importantly, Vasudha, who does this benefit politically? Is it a Siddaramaiah strategy to consolidate his position? Multiple questions have been raised. Let's listen in to Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar before we head to our first face-off this evening.
ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಗಳು ಕೂಡ ರಾಜಕೀಯವಾಗಿ ಆರೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷ, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಹಿಂದೂ ವಿರೋಧವಾಗಿದೆ, ಹಿಂದೂಗಳ ವಿರೋಧ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಖಂಡಿಸಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿಯಾದಂಥ ಉತ್ತರ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು?
कर्नाटक में सिद्धरामैया का सरकार कब कब आती है तब तब समाज को बांटने का काम चल रहा है, जाति का आधार पर बांट रहे हैं. यही काम ये साल भी हो रही है. हमारा रिजर्वेशन को छीनने के लिए, SC ST का रिजर्वेशन को छीनने के लिए, माइनॉरिटी को अलग से रिजर्वेशन है, उसका जाति धर्म अलग है, एंड हमारा जाति के साथ जोड़ के हमारा रिजर्वेशन को वो छीनना चाहते हैं. ये सिद्धरामैया का सरकार है, इसका हम विरोध करेंगे. जाति को बांटना चाहते हैं आपका वोट बैंक के लिए, तुष्टीकरण राजनीति के लिए, आप समाज को बांधना चाहते हैं, वो आपका अंदर ही विरोध हो रहे हैं, आपका मंत्री लोग विरोध कर रहे हैं इसको.
Joining us this evening, GS Prashant of the BJP, Deepak Timmaya of the Congress, and noted cephalogist Sandeep Shastri. My first question to you, Deepak Timmaya, too much controversy and divisions even before the survey starts. Is it an exercise that will not just waste 400 crores, but will only fuel caste and divisive politics, as the BJP alleges?
If at all this is being done for only ensuring equitable distribution and also to see that, which of the communities have actually not been getting anything in terms of, benefiting from the government programs, I think that even if somebody is waiting for this to be going a wasteful exercise, I think that the government still would be doing a good job, because I think that the intention of the survey is very clear and it's in the interest of the people at large. If some people want to call it like, dividing the society and appeasing somebody and whatever it is, but everybody should understand that in a society like, John Stuart Mill said, even one single individual is also as important as humanity itself. So I think if at all you're trying to even find that one single individual, and if you're trying to do all this to ensure that one single individual also is not left out, I think that you're doing something good. Because, if at all you're talking only about the BJP, and if BJP wants to even exclude people and who are like in such large numbers just because, you can only accuse by saying that they've been appeased, they've been, given so much, benefit and all that, people, they themselves can see that if still there are communities in this state or even in the country which have not actually shown any kind of progress at all, and that's the duty of the government to ensure that even the last man is lifted up in the society and given the opportunity. And I'm sure that the BJP's leader, Mr. Modi himself, on many occasions when he has spoken, he has been very clear about the upliftment of the whole country and every society, and of course every individual of the country. And I'm sure when they themselves have been trying to do this effort to ensure equitable distribution and also to identify those groups and castes and subcastes which may have been, shortchanged. I don't think that even if you're spending about 1,000 crores also, it's a bad thing, because it's all done in the interest of the state, the people, and also for doing a good job.
Right.
Prashant ji, yes, this is all about equitable distribution. It's all about justice, is what the Congress spokesperson is saying. What is your problem with that?
Vasudha, it's like Rahul Gandhi's claims, always baseless and completely contrary to the facts. Because what is Siddaramaiah and team embarking upon now? Introducing new subcastes in religions, where they are wanting to attribute Hindu caste names to different religions by saying Lingayat Christian, Kuruba Christian, Gauda Christian, Brahmin Christian. Come on, you are either a Hindu or a Christian. You cannot be in between. Siddaramaiah also clarified it. Whereas this Congress government has now notified about 46 subcastes in Christians which carries Hindu caste names. We are not aware whether under the Christianity and the Christian law whether those things are recognized. But only to divide the Hindu society, Siddaramaiah is encouraging conversion, saying you convert and you will retain your caste along with the new religion. This is a state-sponsored event looking at forced conversions on one hand. And on the other, if you look at the intent behind the Congress trying to bring in new subcastes and divide Hindus, right from Bihar, Bengal to Kerala, they are clear, they are letting the infiltrators in. By bringing in these new subcastes, attributing it to new people, we will not have precedents of that, and say you enroll them, enumerate them under this new subcaste for which they are given. We don't know whether you have a Kuruba Muslim, Lingayat Muslim.
Prashant, my question to you is, while you're raising this issue of subcaste, Prashant, listen, while you're raising this issue of subcaste, is the real issue about the worry of the dominant castes? Is the real issue one where one does not want the status quo in Karnataka's caste structure being upset? That's really the question. And before I pose that to you, let me pose the same thing to Sandeep Shastri. Sandeep Shastri, is that the reason why we are seeing so much controversy around the caste survey even before it begins? Do you believe it's going to be a waste of money and only one that fuels caste politics, or do you believe it can actually do some good?
Veera, you are right in saying that a lot of people would not want the current distribution of power between the castes to be impacted in any negative way. Let's also, Veera, raise the question that if we are spending so much of money to do this caste enumeration, uh, compared to last time when it was done, is there any evidence of what we have done better, what we plan to do better? Has there been greater consultation, information, transparency, participation on this question? Because last time a lot of questions have been raised, both within the ruling party and in the current opposition. Now, have those been addressed? Have we learned from the possible challenges that we had last time? There are internal convulsions within the ruling party. There are external contradictions and challenges. Now, how do you ensure that all this money spent is being spent correctly, is being spent appropriately, and we are not committing the errors of last time? I think that's important to convince everyone about. And I'm not too sure whether there is enough information in the public domain about this particular factor.
Right. Right.
That's a very important point, Professor Shastri. Deepak Thimaiya, last time around we saw that the data was not released. This time around we see disagreements within the cabinet itself. And like Professor Shastri is also talking about, what kind of political signal does it send? And has the government learned something from the past? How are you going to sort of deploy those learnings?
Whether it's Mr. Sidramaya or the Congress party, I'm sure that, we don't want to, make mistakes as far as the process is concerned. And basically what Mr. Shastri has been talking about is basically to do with the issue with the process, and it's not basically about the intent. And let me tell you, if at all you're also worried about, the Lingayat the Christian and the Kuruba Christian and so on, like the BJP has been alleging for a very long time, perhaps this could be a very good time for us to understand from which communities people actually converted to other religions, so that the whole thing about, rice bag Christians or whatever, basically becoming Christians from the lowest, strata of the society, perhaps could be debunked. And this also is a good opportunity for us to understand that, how people actually convert to other communities or religions, because the CM himself has told recently that, that the whole story about conversion and what he has an opinion as about that. And let me tell you one thing very clearly. See, today, if at all this kind of a survey is going to ensure that we understand the demography of the state better, nobody is going to say that it's going to upset things to such an extent that you can't even find out the truth. It is time for us to look at the truth in the face. And perhaps, if at all the BJP is worried that it's going to promote conversion, but let me tell you, Hinduism is a very strong religion where you can't force people so easily that people don't have faith in dharma, that people can so easily get converted.
Prashant,
I think you're
that.
insulting Hindu dharma, I tell you. Because I believe Hindu dharma is a very strong dharma where
Prashant,
you
go
can't
ahead.
get so
Prashant, please respond to that.
Somebody can.
Let me. We definitely agree Hinduism has survived thousands of years despite Mughals, whom Congress looks at as their idols. Be that as it may, this is not a case of wanting to know who has converted which religion. The moment you have converted, you should automatically lose that particular Hindu tag. On what basis are you saying that now, that you want to check who converted? Are you wanting to encourage more conversions? And moreover, conducting a caste census is a prerogative of the central government, which the central government is already notified it, and it's going to happen. Why this hurry for the Congress government? And 2 months ago, they did this census of the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Now they want one more census being carried out. They are using the Karnataka Backward Class Commission for this. We don't even know whether they have the authority to do survey of other castes outside the purview of the Backward Class Commission. When many issues are there, they wasted 120 crores in Kantaraj Commission. Then Jaiprakash Hegde's commission report, they did not make it public. They said the signatures were missing by the secretary. And you have a whole lot of fault lines within the Congress cabinet disagreeing with it. On top of it now, you want to embark on this particular exercise. For what reason? Please wait for the caste census which the center is going to carry out, which will be comprehensive in every nature. And
Deepak Timaya, sharp questions raised by Prashant.
The
Deepak
caste
Timaya,
which is
these are
not
sharp
mentioned.
questions raised by Prashant. Don't deny that within your own party there are divisions over this.
Don't you feel nice about it that Congress party at least has the internal democracy, that people at least air their opinions and, express their
Like
concerns
Rajana was expelled.
instead of accepting, like,
Like
when
how
the
Rajana was
PM comes
expelled.
that,
When
when the PM
Rahul
comes
Gandhi
that you
wanted
stand
to
up and bow your
he
head
spoke something
just because
Rajana was
he's the
expelled
leader
for
of the
speaking
party.
against Rahul Gandhi. Veerendra Patil was dismissed as CM when Rajiv Gandhi was there. So the internal democracy in Congress is known to everybody. Internal democracy starts
We are
with
in
Gandhi, ends with
2025,
them.
Mr. Prakash. We were not in,
We also
1980.
know how much internal democracy was present when Mallikarjun Kharge had to stand outside and peep when Priyanka Vadra was filing a nomination.
No,
so
no.
there is
So
no
let's
democracy in Congress.
focus on this issue. Let's focus on the issue at hand. Some questions being raised by Prashant. Deepak, respond, and finally I'll give the word to Prashant.
I think Mr. Shastri wants to say something.
Veera, I was
Mr.
just
Shastri is
to make the
quietly
point-
listening. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Mr. Shastri.
Veera, I was just wanting to make the point that backward caste enumeration reservation at the state level is very different from at the central level. Let's remember it started much earlier at the state level, and I think it's perfectly okay to have a separate census happening at two levels. There is also a separate enumeration of castes at both levels. What is more important for me is if we are starting this exercise in Karnataka on Monday, have we taken precautions not to repeat the errors of the past? This for me is the biggest concern. Otherwise, a lot of money that we are spending would then once again, like last time, not result in any important policy input. That is the critical factor.
Extremely important point
But
being
Deepak
made
Thimaya,
by
let me
Professor
just ask you
Shastri
this
there,
one
Vasudha.
question. Deepak Thimaya. Yeah, Deepak Thimaya, last time we were waiting for the data to come out. But that didn't because there were other compulsions that the government also faced. How sure are we that this time the outcomes, the data, the survey data is really going to be out?
See, when we are doing this enumeration, if at all, we have gone into another survey, and if at all we are actually spending more money and we have actually made it more threadbare, the very intention is because our own party members, like the opposition has been saying, that we have been having a lot of concern about, the way perhaps the data was generated. And this one, I'm sure that it's being watched by a lot of people, not just by the BJP, but also inside the party. And I'm 100% sure that the CM himself is aware of the kind of, challenges we could face if at all the information is or the data is not collected properly. But let me tell you, why do we preempt these things even before they are done? As if, only if the BJP does it, it's all perfect. Only if the Congress does it, it's going to be all faulty. But let me tell you, we have to
Prashant,
respect
very quick response.
anything that the government tries to do, because, it is not just the government of the
Congress
congressmen.
has never stood up for the nation. Congress is a party which disregarded the armed forces after Operation Sindoor. So we cannot believe Congress does anything for the people, accepting that they do only to please the Gandhi family. And because this was done the moment Rahul Gandhi wanted to do it, they're doing it, accepting that they have no real agenda to serve the people. They are busy shooting the people of Karnataka.
Yes, perhaps in those full-fledged...
Hold on to that thought, the two of you, because I'm going to keep you two here. I'm going to bring another contentious topic in focus where you two can face off. Just give me a few seconds. Let's shift focus now, Vasudha, to the other big national face-off, which Deepak Thimaya and GS Prashant will argue over in just a bit from now. The allegations made by Rahul Gandhi over fraudulent deletion of over 6,000 voter names at the Aland Assembly constituency in Bidar district. His Gen Z remarks may have set off a political storm and exchange with the BJP, but the Aland MLA Vasudha, who was the first to flag that fraudulent deletion of votes in 2023, just ahead of the assembly elections, has sought an SIT probe into that case, which has been probed by the CID of the state police so far. Will the state government set up an SIT? What's the way ahead? That's really the question, Vasudha.
And how is this going to change the politics of the country? Because the Congress is very keen on making this that one rallying cry for the entire opposition. We saw even Priyanka Gandhi Vadra today signing that signature campaign. But remember, Veera, that the BJP has countered this very interestingly today, saying that this is all about Rahul Gandhi trying to incite the Gen Z protesters, and they are in fact talking about the Delhi University students' election where the BJP has won all important seats except one. So clearly the BJP is giving it back. But remember, yesterday for the first time, Rahul Gandhi also talked about how the ECI is stalling investigation by citing all the letters, 18 letters in 18 months that the Karnataka CID has written to the State Election Commission.
That's right, Vasudha. In fact, the person at the epicenter was B.R. Patil. Patil raised the issue first of fraudulent deletions just ahead of the 2023 elections, as I mentioned, after one of his booth workers alerted him. He spoke with NDTV's Deepak Bopanna earlier in the day. Let's listen in before we head back to Deepak Timaya and GS Prashant.
Your constituency, of course, has become the talk of the town since Rahul Gandhi, of course, took up the matter. But the BJP is saying you have won the election. In fact, there was no theft of votes that actually happened. So where is the grouse actually?
I am a believer in democracy. How it happened? Of course, I won the election. But if I have not raised any objections, I would have lost the election. Because I won the election margin of 10,000 votes.
Okay.
So in the larger interest of the protected democracy, I am fighting against this. I want to know who are behind this case.
Do you want an SIT probe into this? I believe you have also, appealed to the Chief Minister to form an SIT in the...
I request, COD is also competent authority, they are also investigating, but they are unable to get. Now they are maybe going to the cybercrime. They are referred to cybercrime. So whatever government fits, I will welcome it.
So SIT is something that you are open to right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but what would you make of the, allegation of the BJP that there was actually no theft here, but the vote chori...
Why BJP leaders are countering my statement? They must ask the Election Commission to provide the required materials.
Deepak Timaya, how do you look at this demand for an SIT to look into this process? Because the BJP is saying that all of this is being done only to create more chaos and anarchy in this country, very similar to what we have seen in other neighboring countries, and that's not really right for the democracy.
See, a BJP leader himself has said perhaps, it may have actually happened in his constituency too, and maybe the Congress party must have effected some kind of vote or rather, electoral manipulation. But let me tell you, this is not just, something that the Congress party is asking. Basically, Congress party is asking for sanitizing the voter list. That is all it is. It is not making any allegation against the BJP directly unless the BJP is getting involved. Like yesterday also when Mr. Rahul Gandhi spoke about, he didn't even mention the BJP, even by name or spirit or just symbol or whatever. And if at all you're getting agitated, it is because you are complicit. There's a very good saying in Kannada, like, Kumlakai Kadda andre Egalmut Nodkonda. In the sense, you're not even concerned. We are not even talking about it. We are talking about the electoral rolls. We are talking about vote deletion. Why are you getting so agitated about it? It concerns everybody.
Why are you getting so agitated, GS Prashant?
Yeah, there are so many BJP people who have actually lost the election. Let them also get agitated about it. Instead, people sitting in Delhi who are not even concerned. It's basically...
Why are you getting... Deepak, let Prashant respond. Why are you getting agitated, GS Prashant? Deepak Timaya's question, respond.
We are not getting agitated. Look at the hypocrisy of Congress. They win elections in Karnataka and Telangana and Himachal Pradesh. EVMs are perfectly fine, top of the world, and absolutely not tampered with. Whenever they lose elections, they were going after EVMs. Now that they won elections in two major states, Telangana and Karnataka, they had to find a scapegoat. They said, look, the voter list has been altered to suit the BJP. So which means the agenda of the Congress party is very clear: to undermine democracy, constitutional functionaries, to say that they are indulging in malpractices. This has been the Congress agenda. When Rahul Gandhi was in Karnataka, when the chief election officer here said, please file an affidavit, give it in writing about your claims, he just went around, showed some photographs and papers in media and vanished to Malaysia. God knows what he was doing in Malaysia. But he did not file an affidavit. If he was so sure that this has happened, and if Election Commission has done something wrong, the courts of the country will uphold the justice and bring everybody who's...
There is a question. One second, Prashant.
Election Commission.
One second, Prashant. There is an important question to Deepak Timaya. No, one well, important question, apart from the questions that Prashant has raised, Deepak, Vasudha, I think it's important to point out here that on the 7th of September, this is a case that's been going on since 2023 February. The issue was raised then. On the 7th of September, the Hindu had written a huge piece by a journalist here on this particular story. Are we just using past allegations to fuel a present claim, Deepak Timaya? Because not everyone agrees that this is vote chery. This could be manipulation, this could be irregularities, but this is an old issue. It's being raked up right now to fit a present narrative. Go ahead, Deepak Timaya.
I am very glad that the BJP thinks that, it has been questioned in Karnataka. But let me tell you, Karnataka won. Karnataka was won by the Congress with such amazing majority. And let me tell you, even after that, if you're talking about vote chori, that is only because we are just trying to say that the people who are so overwhelmingly with us, and it's even surprising that some BJP candidates were able to win. Basically, what we are trying to say is that in the case of Anand, the 6,000 votes, if at all, they were not identified, and he has won by 10,000 votes. Could have been in so many other instances if those were actually found out. See, because it was complained, it was stopped. Like they say, no, the chori did not happen because you caught
there is no concrete evidence.
No, this act. Let me tell you, the
Please file affidavit in the court. Who's stopping
the Karnataka Election Commission has written so many letters. The Karnataka Election Commission has written.
Okay, let me.
See, Vasudha, it is Rahul Gandhi's day
let me take this question to Prashant ji, yes.
And then apologize. Vasudha, it is Rahul Gandhi's day job to make allegations,
Prashant ji, yes.
and then apologize. He has apologized to the Supreme Court and various people numerous occasions. So it is Rahul Gandhi's day job. So therefore, he is making his allegations. When the matter reaches the court, when the court seeks proof, Rahul Gandhi will simply apologize. This is what he is doing. So therefore, Rahul Gandhi's idea is only to undermine democracy and constitutional functionaries here. This is only to run his agenda, which is being funded
respond to that.
God knows where.
If at all, the party that has been trying to save democracy from 1947 and before has been accused of trying to,
Please have
spoil
a
democracy.
Mirror, please, in the
Can I finish, please?
1975.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Let him finish. One after the other. Vasudha, go ahead.
Please look into the mirror and then talk.
Deepak Timaya, finish your point. Prashant,
I don't have to look in the mirror. I'm
finish your
actually
point.
seeing myself on the screen. Let me tell you, let me be very clear about it, but let me tell you, whatever that concerns in terms of the vote chori does not concern only the Congress. It concerns every political party, and most importantly, it's a question about the voters in this country and the citizens. Let me tell you, even if you think that, we have just done it for fun and, it's a day job, if at all the voter list can be sanitized and the chores can be caught, it's good for all parties, Mr. Prashant. So why are you so worried about, this getting cleaned up?
But Mr.
Don't worry.
But Mr. Timaya, that's exactly what the EC is saying, that the SIR process. Okay, Prashant, the SIR process is all about purifying the list, is what the election commission is saying. But Prashant, there's a valid question that Deepak Timaya pointed out. Why is the BJP getting agitated? Isn't it easier for you, in fact, politically more, it's a better position for you to just say that, yes, if there is a problem like this, if there is a spate of irregularities, let the ECI look into it and not really have press conferences on this particular aspect, because this is a matter of principles. Not even one person's vote should be stolen, right? It's not about the numbers here, it's about principles.
Right.
Exactly. Not a single Indian citizen's vote must be stolen, and no infiltrator must be allowed to cast the vote in the country. So therefore, BJP and the central government is all for free and fair elections, and therefore we are not shying away from anything. All that we're saying is, if Congress is making any claims, let them prove. Why did Congress, Rahul Gandhi, run away from Karnataka by not filing an affidavit? If he had so much information, accurate information, he could have filed an affidavit. And if after that, if the election commission
20 seconds, Deepak Timaya. Very quick response. 20 seconds, Deepak Timaya.
It's actually extremely funny that without an investigation, I think that neither Mr. Rahul Gandhi or the election commission can come to a conclusive thing for even Mr. Rahul Gandhi to file an affidavit. All that he is saying is that investigate, because the people whose names were up for deletion were not Bangladeshis. They were Hindu Indians, 90% of them. Why are you not just saying that if it's good for the country, let us get together, Congress and the BJP, and let's make the electoral rolls.
Let's leave this conversation right here because it's an intense one. It will go on in the coming days, Vasudha. It is one that we will keep close focus on. Thanks very much,
I think
Prashant
critical
and Deepak.
points are being pointed out by both parties here.
That's right.
I think both sides did have some very important arguments to point out, Veera. But then this also has to be seen if this is an issue that will that will attract the resonance of people, and that is one thing that the Congress needs to worry about, which is why the party probably has also started a signature campaign. Or if it's a BJP's narrative that this is all an attempt to create chaos, if that is going to stick to people, then that probably will also mean their political victory.
That's right, but the bigger question is about the credibility of the process. But we leave that contentious political fierce face-off to a more fierce reality on Bengaluru's roads, Vasudha. We've spoken about potholes, we've spoken about traffic, but what about the pedestrians? We've often raised this question. Ritu Rajpurohit decided to take a walk down Bengaluru's roads, and she claims that it's nothing short of an adventure sport. Many Bengalurians will agree, Vasudha. Listen into this.
Bengaluru roads already feels like you are riding on the moon. But wait, pedestrians have it even worse. In the city, footpaths are either missing, broken or hijacked. While vehicles struggle with the potholes on the roads, people on foot are busy playing survival of fittest every single day.
Welcome to Adventureland, Bengaluru's footpaths.
This is Bengaluru, the only city where pedestrians need more courage than the bikers. Here the footpath is absent, only the brave attempt to walk is required. Walk here and you just do not risk your sprained ankles, but you might get this underground surprise tour. In Bengaluru, even vehicles feel left out of the road, so they join pedestrians on the footpath. So next time when someone tells you to walk for fitness, just tell them one thing as a Bengalurian, that in Bengaluru it's an extreme sport. With video journalist Govind, Ritu for NDTV in Bengaluru.
Well, try and take a walk. Try and take a walk in Bengaluru, Vasudha. I know it's tough in every Indian city. We speak about roads, we speak about traffic, we speak about cars. But what about the pedestrian? It's a tough job in any part of India.
That's right. In fact, the state of Bengaluru, Veera, is also reflective of the state of urban planning in the country, which definitely needs a review. With that, it's time for a short break. We'll be back in just a bit.
Hello, Moto.
Moto G96 5G. All eyes on you.
Vanakkam Tamil Nadu.
Well, the battle for Tamil Nadu 2026 is open now.
after Chief Minister Stalin rolls up his sleeves.
And Vijay steps in as a star challenger.
This is a mass gathering, not for cash.
Meanwhile, a former Chief Minister, Edapadi Palanisamy, begins his fight back.
The big comeback campaign by EPS has well and truly begun.
These are all the ultimate players, and this is going to be the ultimate test.
That's huge. That is a biggie. It's out there.
Gold Plus Clear Glass. पार हो या नियर, सब कुछ दिखे क्लियर।
बहू, आज जो कुछ हमारे पास है, सब इनकी देन है। एक अगरबत्ती की दुकान से इतना बड़ा बिजनेस खड़ा किया।
प्रणाम दादाजी।
दादाजी, ये तो पुष्पा अगरबत्ती के मालिक हैं, घनश्याम दास। इनके स्टॉक्स में इन्वेस्ट किया था, इसीलिए आज ये सब कुछ है।
जो आगे की सोचते हैं, ग्रो करते हैं। डाउनलोड ग्रो फॉर स्टॉक्स, म्यूचुअल फंड्स एंड IPO।
और ये कौन सी कंपनी के मालिक हैं?
ये तो दादाजी हैं।
प्रतिभूति बाजार में निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। निवेश करने से पहले सभी संबंधित दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
फिनिस्टा विंडोज, ब्यूटीफुल एंड ड्यूरेबल डिजाइन्स, इंस्टॉलेशन से मेंटेनेंस की लाइफ लॉन्ग कस्टमर सर्विस। आपके घर में फिनिस्टा नहीं है तो कॉल कीजिए।
Find Finer Finesta.
Rajasthan is history, culture, and much more. And I have been reporting on all things royal for more than 25 years.
The colors, the culture, and the complexities of the Northeast is different from the rest of the country. I have been bringing the Northeast closer to the capital for over 15 years. Madhya Pradesh is the heart of India, and I have been capturing its every beat for over 10 years, covering the corridors of power. What is said, what is left unsaid, and what it actually means for you and me. I have it all covered.
Kashmir is often called paradise on earth, a region that has been in a state of flux from conflict to India's crowning glory. I have been reporting and decoding Jammu and Kashmir for last 3 decades.
The threat is not just across the borders. Now the people can breach a firewall and create a threat.
Products that we make are not only the best, they compete in terms of the innovation that we build into the products.
The missile was meant to miss. That's why they say miss distance. But this is a hitile, it hits the target.
Welcome back. Now to actor Deepika Padukone and her Kalki saga coming to an end. She was one of the big faces, remember, of the sci-fi blockbuster Kalki 2898 AD, but will not return for its sequel. This comes soon after she exited Spirit with Prabhas. Vasudha, sparking questions across the industry. Is Bollywood's biggest star walking away from mega projects to prioritize family after motherhood?
Remember, Veera, this is an actor who has spoken on motherhood, she's spoken on work-life balance, she's also spoken about mental issues and depression in the past, very important issues that have to be highlighted. But then there's also the other side that's saying that there needs to be professionalism amongst actors, and they can't really be making demands that cannot be fulfilled by even the best producers. So what exactly is the truth here? We don't know, but what we know is that this episode has also brought to the fore some very important issues, specifically with regard to work-life balance and
Right. Let's just listen into this report.
एक जान के अंदर दूसरी जान.
It was one of the biggest films of 2024, Kalki 2898 AD. A star-studded spectacle featuring Prabhas, Amitabh Bachchan, Kamal Hassan and Deepika Padukone. But as the sequel plans take shape, there's one name, Deepika Padukone. The actress has now been dropped from the Later, a team made certain demands that didn't sit well with the film's producers. In an ex-post, Vijayanti Movies said they have parted ways with the actor as they were unable to find a partnership for a film that deserves that commitment and much more. Sources told NDTV that Deepika's team demanded a 25% hike in her fee and 5-star accommodations for a 25-member crew accompanying her. Producers reportedly felt that the revised terms were too steep and unsustainable, especially after already managing massive budgets for the first film. There's also the matter of Deepika's personal priorities. The actress recently welcomed her first child with Ranveer Singh. In an earlier interview, Deepika said that she now prefers strict 8-hour work days as she balances acting with motherhood. While this is entirely understandable, the makers of Kalki 2898 AD apparently found it difficult to accommodate such scheduling restrictions, especially for a film packed with VFX, action and tight timelines. Sources say the decision to part ways was mutual, with both sides realizing that the fit wasn't ideal for the sequel's scale. Kalki 2898 AD has already become a franchise to watch. But for the sequel, fans may see a new female lead step in. This is the second big film loss for Deepika this year, as she lost Prabhas starer Spirit over differences with the filmmaker Sandeep Reddy Vanga. As for Deepika, she continues to focus on motherhood and will next be seen in Singham Again and other major projects. With Sejal Gupta, NDTV Bureau Report.
Actor Kasturi Shankar joins us now, also trade analyst Girish Wankade. Thank you both of you for joining us. Kasturi, what do you think really happened and what is going to be the impact of this on the industry?
You know, I heard your report, Vasudha, where the anchor was saying while Deepika requested a more flexible schedule, and that's entirely understandable, the production was not able to meet her needs. And I beg to differ. And I beg to differ as a working actor. You know, for decades, actresses, female actors in lead roles have been denied their due. The minute they get married, they would lose out on job opportunities. And the reason that people would say was, you know, we don't know when they'll get pregnant, when that will jeopardize our movie shooting schedules. We have gone from there to being a very, very professional generation where in Bollywood, actors like Kajol and Kareena Kapoor have, opened the floodgates for married actors to rule the roost. And this is the case in the South as well, where after many years of stigmatizing married actors, we now have married actresses. And let me use that today, married female actors or actresses. After many years of kind of skirting around them, we have come to a point where we are all able to get work because the industry trusts our professionalism to show up and keep up a commitment. I think what Deepika has done in the case of both Sandeep Reddy Vanga's movie as well as Spirit as well as Kalki is that she has taken us all backwards. I'm sorry to say this, unpopular opinion for you media, but this is reality for us working actresses. She's taken us all backwards because who's going to trust the rest of us who are all leading family lives? Because what is to say that we won't just end up prioritizing our family and children and not keep up our commitments? Spirit is a different story, Vasudha, but Kalki clearly was a sequel. Deepika should have been signed. Maybe she must have. I'm speculating that she must have had a multi-film deal on that, and she is reneging on it because everybody knows that Sundari is the lead character of the movie. Now that said, let me also register here that actors and actresses have it much better than any other person in any other high-paying
Important point
job.
that you're making there, Kasturi. I think your internet is also freezing up, so I'll have to butt in here very, very briefly. Girish, you've heard what Kasturi has said. Where would you stand on this?
I will say that there must be several reasons because of which Deepika is not the part of the film. The first may be the scheduling. Second, the scheduling restrictions, and second should be her priority for her family life. And third could be the reason where, as I see that the shooting of Shah Rukh Khan's King has been delayed because of his injury, and she's also working on King. So she may prefer King in the coming days rather than going for Kalki 2. That could be one reason. And the reason which we all know about is she asking for a bigger entourage and 25 people, crew and all. So I don't think that could be the reason. The only bigger reason would be she has to give more priority to her family.
Out of time, but I also feel a lot of it could be vilification campaign. I don't agree with Kasturi because I feel sometimes women need to talk about their problems and they need to talk about equality. We really don't know what really happened here, but I'm happy that this issue has brought to fore some issues on work-life balance that we all need to talk about.
That's right, Vasudha. We will now head to a big NDTV exclusive with NDTV's Vishnu Som, who had a special visit to the Hindustan Aeronauticals Limited factory and has this exclusive report on the Tejas.
In a few days from now, this Tejas Mark 1A fighter will take off for the first time and should be in service with the Indian Air Force within months. It's painted yellow now, the color of its primer, but it will be fully painted in the Indian Air Force's grey paint scheme before being handed over. The Tejas Mark 1A, the newest variant of the Made in India fighter jet, is at the center of India's Atmanirbharta drive. By the time the project finishes, there will have been 3 variants. The original Tejas Mark 1, of which 37 jets are presently in service, the Tejas Mark 1A, and the Tejas Mark 2, a substantially larger platform. The key question, though, is this: is the Tejas Mark 1A still relevant at a time when China has invested in stealth fighters, now rolling out its 300th J-20 stealth fighter? 2 brand new stealth designs have also been spotted. Some call them 6th-generation fighters. In other words, 2 generations ahead, technology-wise, of where the Tejas stands. The Hindustan Aeronautics Limited chief, though, says the Tejas has its own space.
Any Air Force would have a bunch of aircraft having different roles. Right? The Alpha, Mark 1 Alpha fits a certain role. The Mark 2 will fit a certain role as a replacement for the Jaguars, and this is a replacement for the MiG-21s, basically interceptor role. So I think it's a bouquet of aircraft that they would have. So the stealth would have its own position and requirement. So I don't think it's a question of this or that. I think both will be required, and in numbers.
For now, though, the Tejas Mark 1A remains the key focus. In February 2021, the government signed a contract for 83 Tejas Mark 1A fighters, including 10 twin-seat trainers valued at 45,696 crores. In April 2024, the government issued an order for an additional 97 Tejas Mark 1A jets at 65,000 crores. This was cleared by the government this August. Therefore, the total investment in the project stands at a whopping 1,10,000 crores.
The Tejas has what's called an all-glass cockpit. It's a cockpit designed by Indian pilots and engineers for an Indian requirement. I've had the opportunity of checking it out on a sortie on the Tejas Mark 1 trainer. What's the Tejas Mark 1A cockpit all about? Let's take a look. Never easy getting into a fighter cockpit, particularly for someone like me, 6'2". But this cockpit it's superb. And in having flown sorties on the F-16, the F-18, the Yas 39 Gripen, on the MiG-35, on the Su-30 TMKI, on the Sea Harrier, and I probably could go on. I can tell you that this is as good and as functional a cockpit as any among those aircraft. It's a hands and throttle and stick configuration. The pilot has got all of the controls on the throttle, on my side over here, and on the stick. And between the throttle and the stick, they can essentially fly the aircraft effectively by looking out and up. Situational awareness is absolutely critical. So all of the key information that is needed comes over here in the head-up display. That has all the essential flight parameters.
To make it more contemporary, the Tejas Mark 1A that you see here will be armed with state-of-the-art long-range air-to-air missiles called the Meteor, which already equip India's fleet of Rafale fighters.
In the second version, we will also have another missile coming in from MBDA. So the capabilities of this are only going to increase.
And the Meteor, right?
The
is
Meteor,
what might come in.
the Meteor.
For the Mark II.
For the second batch.
Of Mark 1A.
Yes, Mark 1A.
Oh, that's
first.
interesting.
Yeah. So this is a aircraft which has a huge growth potential.
The big question, when will HAL be ready with its next big Tejas project? The Tejas Mark II, a bigger and more substantial aircraft. If all goes well, the first flight of the Tejas Mark II will happen by the end of the year. It'll take 4 years to certify the aircraft. It'll be ready for manufacture by 2030. The Tejas Mark 1A, though, is badly late. It should already have been serviced with the IAF in sizable numbers. The Tejas Mark 1A project was originally scheduled to deliver its first jet to the Indian Air Force by the 31st of March 2024, but persistent engine supply issues from GE Aerospace delayed the initial rollout by several years. By March this year, after a 2-year delay from the anticipated engine delivery timelines, General Electric finally shipped the first of 99 F404 IN-20 engines to Hindustan Aeronautics. This engine that you see here was delivered just last week. Delays in jet engines aside, the fighter has faced challenges including software glitches, radar integration delays, and missile compatibility issues, which have strained the Indian Air Force's squadron strength. For Hindustan Aeronautics, it's now or never. The government has invested massively in the company. Will the Indian jet manufacturer deliver for the IAF bit the capability that it wants? Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
We see the problems, but you as a social entrepreneur see the solutions. You are not just creating solution, you are creating a future where everyone has a chance to thrive. For the change makers, the innovators, the ones building a better world, one solution at a time. The Adani Green Talk Social Impact Awards are created for you. Green Talk Social Impact Awards 2025, coming soon.
गोल्ड प्लस ऑप्टिमिस्टिक रिफ्लेक्टिव ग्लास लगाओ, धूप की गर्मी को दूर भगाओ और बिजली का बिल भी बचाओ।
बहू, आज जो कुछ हमारे पास है सब इनकी देन है। एक अगरबत्ती की दुकान से इतना बड़ा बिजनेस खड़ा किया।
प्रणाम दादाजी।
दादाजी, ये तो पुष्पा अगरबत्ती के मालिक हैं, घनश्याम दास। इनके स्टॉक्स में इन्वेस्ट किया था, इसीलिए आज ये सब कुछ है।
जो आगे की सोचते हैं, ग्रो करते हैं।